The crystal chandelier above the grand hall glittered like 1,000 perfect lies, each one reflecting wealth, elegance, and the illusion that everyone in this room had their life exactly where it was supposed to be. I stood beneath it, holding a champagne flute I hadn't tasted, my fingers tight around the stem, my posture flawless in a way that had taken years to learn. Polished, composed, unbreakable. That was the version of me the city knew. 3 weeks ago, my face had been splashed across society blogs beside his. Smiling, adored, the perfect couple. Tonight, I was alone, standing at the edge of the marble floor like an afterthought, wondering how betrayal could still feel so loud when no one was speaking about it out loud. The charity gala hummed around me. Designer gowns brushed past like whispers. Men in tailored suits laughed too loudly. Eyes skimmed over me with quick recognition, then polite dismissal. I could feel the judgment even when no one said a word. Pity disguised as indifference. Curiosity pretending to be manners. I belonged here. I always had. And yet I had never felt so out of place. My dress was borrowed. Deep wine silk that hugged me just right, chosen carefully to say I am fine even when I was. My hair was swept up, my makeup flawless, concealing the sleepless nights and the ache I hadn't learned how to name yet. Everything about me looked intact. Inside, something vital had cracked. 3 weeks ago, I had still believed in loyalty. 3 weeks ago, I had walked into my apartment early and found him with her. Not rumors, not suspicion, reality. And now he was here. I felt him before I saw him. A shift in the air, the way people subtly turned, the way attention bent in his direction. Marcus always knew how to enter a room like he owned it. Old money confidence, inherited entitlement. He was walking toward the center of the hall, his hand resting possessively on the lower back of the woman beside him. Sir. She wore white. The audacity of it stole the air from my lungs. White silk, draped innocently, like she hadn't been the one tangled in my sheets while he told me he loved me. Her smile was soft, practiced, victorious. The kind of smile that said she believed she had won something worth keeping. My stomach twisted. I should have left. I had known this might happen. My best friend had warned me, but knowing something might hurt you is nothing like watching it unfold in real time. Marcus leaned in to whisper something in her ear, and she laughed, tilting her head just enough for him to kiss her cheek. My vision blurred. I set my champagne down before my hand betrayed me and clenched my fingers at my sides. Breathe. Don't let them see. Don't give him the satisfaction. Disappear quietly or stand tall. I chose tall even though my knees threatened to give out. Then he turned. Our eyes met across the room. Recognition flashed, surprise, then something darker, something calculating. He said something to her, and they began walking in my direction. Panic surged sharp and fast. I couldn't do this. Not now. Not here. Not with him pretending nothing had happened while the room watched to see how broken I was. My gaze darted desperately, searching for escape, for a familiar face, for anything. That was when I saw him. He stood near one of the museum's towering statues, separate from the crowd but not excluded from it. Tall, still, dark suit cut perfectly to his frame. He wasn't networking, wasn't watching anyone. His attention seemed fixed inward, like the performance around him was beneath notice. Power without display. His presence was unsettling in the quietest way. While everyone else glittered, he absorbed light. There was something unreadable about his face. Calm, controlled, dangerous maybe, though I couldn't explain why. Men like Marcus announced themselves. This man didn't need to. Marcus was closer now, too close. I had seconds. The decision didn't feel like a decision at all. It felt like instinct. Desperation clawing its way past dignity, fear bowing to survival. Before I could talk myself out of it, before my courage dissolved, I moved. Heels clicking against marble, heart pounding. Each step toward the stranger felt reckless and inevitable. He looked up as I reached him. Dark eyes met mine, sharp and focused. like he was suddenly assessing a situation that interested him. I didn't slow down. I didn't apologize. I stopped in front of him, lifted my chin, and met his gaze. My voice shook despite my best efforts, but the words came anyway. Kiss me. My ex is staring. Desperation had overridden fear. And I had no idea that in this single impulsive moment, I was about to step directly into the most dangerous truth of my life. He did not move at first. That was the strangest part. Most men would have laughed, or leaned in too quickly, or asked questions. He did none of those. He simply looked at me, really looked at me, like he was reading something written beneath my skin. The music from the gala faded. The laughter blurred. Even the fear in my chest went quiet for one suspended moment. Behind me, I could feel Marcus getting closer, feel his attention burning into my back, waiting to see me crumble. The stranger's gaze flicked past my shoulder for half a second, just long enough. When his eyes returned to mine, something had shifted. Decision. Calculation. Control. You are asking a lot from someone you do not know. His voice was low calm. There was an accent there, faint and dangerous. It wrapped around the words instead of softening them. I swallowed. I know. I said. But I am asking anyway. Another pause. Long enough that panic crept back in. Long enough that I almost stepped away. Then his hand came up. Fingers warm against my jaw. Steady. Possessive. Intentional. My breath caught. He leaned in. Not rushed. Not hesitant. Like this was exactly where he had chosen to be. His lips met mine. The kiss was not gentle, but it was not rough either. It was controlled, measured, devastating in its restraint. It stole the air from my lungs. His other hand settled at my lower back, drawing me closer just enough. Not a performance, not desperation. Ownership. My hands lifted on instinct, resting against his chest. Solid, unmoving. His heartbeat slow beneath my palms. Everything inside me reacted. Heat. Relief. Confusion. Something dangerously close to hope. The kiss deepened slightly. Just enough. Just long enough. Then he pulled back. His face was inches from mine. His eyes darker now. Focused. Aware. Behind me, the room had not stopped. But something had changed. I did not need to turn around to know. Marcus was watching. Is he still staring? I whispered. Yes. The stranger replied. And he does not look pleased. Good. I said. And I meant it. Because for the first time since my life cracked open, I did not feel small, or discarded, or invisible. I felt chosen. Thank you. I added quickly, suddenly aware of how insane this was. I am sorry, I just. Do not apologize. He said. There was no anger in it. Only certainty. He did not remove his hand from my back. And I did not step away. What is your name? I asked. He hesitated. Just a breath. Then, Dante. It fit him. Perfectly. I am Emma. His thumb traced a slow circle against my skin, sending a shiver through me. Emma. He repeated, like he was testing the sound. Then a voice cut through the space between us. Emma. Marcus. I turned. Dante's hand stayed where it was. A silent message. Marcus stood too close, his jaw tight, his eyes flicking between us. I did not know you were coming tonight, he said. I smiled. It felt foreign, but real. It was last minute. I said. Dante had an extra invitation. Dante. Marcus repeated. Something changed in his face. Not jealousy. Not anger. Fear. We have met. Marcus said quickly. Or no. I have heard of you. Dante inclined his head. Barely. I am sure. Marcus swallowed. The tension was thick now. Heavy. Charged. Vanessa shifted beside him. Uneasy. Sensing something she did not understand. We should find our table, she said. Marcus did not move. His eyes stayed on Dante. Enjoy your evening, Emma. Marcus said finally. His voice tight. I intend to. I replied. They left. Only then did I realize my hands were shaking. Dante felt it. You are trembling, he said. I was. I admitted. His grip tightened just a little. You did well. The words settled over me. Steadying. Anchoring. I should go, I said, taking a step back, even as I missed his warmth immediately. Have dinner with me, he said. The invitation was simple, but nothing about it felt casual. I hesitated. Logic screamed. Fear warned. But something stronger answered first. Okay. And in that moment, with my ex watching from across the room, and a stranger offering his arm, I had no idea. I had just accepted dinner with the man the city whispered about. The name tied to power, to danger, to legend. I only knew one thing. I was no longer running. We walked through the crowd together, and something subtle shifted around us. People moved without being asked. Conversations lowered. Eyes followed. It was not admiration. It was awareness. Dante did not rush, did not grip my arm. He guided me with quiet certainty. His hand rested at my back. Not claiming, not showing, simply present. We reached a table near the front. Reserved. Empty. Waiting. I hesitated. Why is this table empty? I asked. Because I prefer not to share my space, he said. The way he said it made me sit. A server appeared immediately. Wine poured without asking. Menus placed, then ignored. You planned this, I said softly. No, he replied. But I am never unprepared. That should have unsettled me. Instead, it made my pulse quicken. The room faded again. Not completely. Just enough. Across the hall I saw Marcus. Watching. Pretending not to. He looked uncertain. That alone felt like victory. Eat, Dante said. You have not eaten. I realized he was right. My body was running on nerves and pride. The food was exquisite. Simple. Comforting. Real. Why are you really here? He asked. I paused, then answered honestly. Because I refused to stay home crying. Because I wanted him to see I survived. Because I needed to remember who I was. And did you? He asked. I looked at him, then nodded. Yes, I think I did. His gaze lingered. Searching. Measuring. You are not what I expected, he said. What did you expect? I asked. Someone louder. Harder. More predictable. I smiled. I have been told I am disappointing that way. He smiled too. Brief. Dangerous. The music changed. Slower. Darker. His hand found mine beneath the table. Warm. Steady. He did not ask permission. But he did wait. I did not pull away. Tell me about him, he said. My chest tightened. But I answered. We were together 2 years. I thought we were building something. I was wrong. You caught him, Dante said. Yes. No denial. No defense. He never apologized properly. I added. Just explained. Dante exhaled slowly. Men like that fear consequence more than loss. There was something personal in the way he said it. And you? I asked. What do you fear? His eyes lifted to mine. Losing control, he said, and hurting the wrong person. Before I could respond, the lights dimmed slightly. Dancing. Someone announced. Dante stood, offered his hand. Dance with me. I hesitated. Only a second. Then stood. The floor felt different now. Closer. Intimate. His hand settled at my waist. The other guiding. Confident. Precise. He could dance. Really dance. My body followed without thinking. You do this often? I asked. No. He replied. Only when it matters. We move together. Slow. Intentional. I forgot the room. Forgot Marcus. Forgot fear. Until I looked up and saw Marcus again. His face was pale. Tight. Afraid. He knew. Not who Dante was, but that he was losing something. Good. I thought. Dante leaned closer. His voice low. He is not just jealous. He is frightened. Why? I asked. Because. Dante said. Some men recognize danger when they see it. The song ended. But he did not let go. Am I? He said. Yes. There is something you should know. But not tonight. Tonight you eat. You dance. You remember your worth. And tomorrow? I asked. Tomorrow. He said. We decide what this really is. And as the room applauded around us, I realized something terrifying. I wanted to know. I wanted to stay. And I no longer cared who was watching. We did not return to the table after the dance. The music faded behind us as Dante guided me toward a quieter gallery. The air changed their cooler, heavier. Like secrets preferred the shadows. We stopped in front of a massive painting. Angels frozen mid-fall. Light and darkness tangled together. I pretended to study it, but my awareness stayed fixed on him. You are very calm, I said. Too calm for someone who just unsettled an entire room. He turned his head slightly, not looking at the painting, looking at me. Calm is learned, he replied. Chaos teaches it quickly. Something in his voice made my skin prickle. What do you do, Dante? I asked. Really? He did not answer right away. Instead, he stepped closer. Not touching, but close enough that I felt the heat of him. I make sure things stay balanced, he said finally. When they tip too far, I correct them. That should have scared me. Instead, it made me want to understand. My ex, I said quietly. He looked afraid when he recognized you. Yes, Dante said. Some people know my name. Others only know what happens when it is spoken. That felt like a warning. And an invitation. Why help me? I asked. You could have refused. Could have walked away. His gaze softened. Just slightly. Because you did not ask for rescue. He said. You asked for dignity. The words landed hard. We stood there. Time stretching. The gala a distant hum. I have enemies. He continued. People who look for weakness. For leverage. My heart slowed. Focused. Being seen with me. Means attention. Not all of it welcome. Are you telling me to leave? I asked. I am giving you the truth. He said. And the choice. Choice. The word mattered. I thought of Marcus. Of explanations disguised as apologies. Of manipulation dressed as love. If I walk away now? I asked. Will you follow? No. He said immediately. I do not chase. I protect what chooses to stay. My breath caught. And if I stay? I whispered. Then you do not stand alone. He replied. The weight of that settled between us. A shadow passed nearby. Voices drifting. Eyes curious. Dante shifted subtly, positioning himself between me and the room. Not obvious. Instinctive. I noticed. And something in my chest eased. You are used to danger. I said. Yes. And to people getting hurt. I added. Yes. Would you hurt me? I asked. The question trembling, despite my resolve. Never. He said. Without hesitation. Without qualification. Certainty like that was terrifying. I stepped back. Needing air. Needing distance. This is insane. I said. We just met. And yet. He replied. You trust me more than the man you loved for years. That was unfair. And true. My phone vibrated in my clutch. A message. I did not need to look to know who it was. Marcus again. Dante noticed my stillness. Him? He asked. Yes. Do you want him gone? He asked calmly. Gone how? I asked sharply. Out of your space. Your thoughts. Your life. The implication lingered. I swallowed. Not yet. I said. But soon. He nodded. Tell me when. The gallery felt smaller suddenly. Like the walls were closing in. I should go. I said. I need to think. Of course. He replied. He did not touch me. Did not insist. Did not follow. But as I turned to leave, his voice stopped me. Am I? I looked back. Whatever you decide. Remember this. You were not weak tonight. You were brave. Those words followed me. Through the crowd. Through the doors. Into the cold night. Outside the museum. The city roared back to life. Cars' horns, voices. Reality. My phone buzzed again. Where are you? Marcus texted. I stared at the screen. Then typed. None of your business. As I slid my phone away, I realized my hands were steady. Fear still lived in me. But it no longer ruled. Because somewhere inside that gala, a man with dangerous, calm, and honest eyes had seen me. Not as broken. Not as disposable. But as a choice. And for the first time since everything fell apart, I wondered, what would happen if I chose him too? The hallway light flickered when I stepped onto my floor. I noticed it immediately. Because I always notice small things now. My heels sounded too loud. Every step echoing. The building felt different. Too quiet. Like it was holding its breath. I reached my door. And stopped. It was not locked. Not broken. Not forced. Just slightly open. A thin dark line where it should have been sealed. My heart slammed so hard it made me dizzy. I had locked it. I always locked it. Every instinct screamed at me not to go inside. To run. To call someone. To breathe. But my body froze. I pushed the door wider. The apartment smelled the same. Paint. Coffee. The faint soap from my sink. Everything looked normal. And that terrified me more than chaos. My couch untouched. My shoes where I left them. my painting corner neat. Then I saw the bedroom. The bed was made. Too neatly. My stomach dropped. I had not made it that morning. Drawers were open. Not emptied. Not destroyed. Just searched. Methodic. Deliberate. My laptop sat open on the desk. The screen dark. Warm. Someone had been here. My chest tightened. Air refused to come. I backed away slowly. Fumbled for my phone. Hands shaking so badly I almost dropped it. I did not think. I did not weigh options. I called Dante. He answered immediately. Emma. What happened? Someone has been in my apartment. I whispered. The door was open. Where are you? His voice had changed. Sharp. Controlled. Outside. In the hallway. Good. Do not go back inside. Stay where people are. I am sending someone now. Dante, I should call the police. You can. But wait. 3 minutes. 3 minutes felt like a lifetime. I sat on the stairwell. Back against the wall. Every sound amplified. Footsteps. Voices. Doors. Then 2 men appeared. Moving with purpose. Not rushing. Not looking around like tourists. Miss Emma. One asked. I nodded. They entered my apartment. Quiet. Efficient. I did not breathe until they came back. There was a pause. A look exchanged. One of them spoke. Someone searched the place. Professionally. No valuables taken. I felt sick. Dante arrived moments later. Fury wrapped in calm. He scanned me. Hands on my face. Checking. Grounding. Are you hurt? No. Thank God. He led me inside. And that was when I saw it. On my bed. Centered on the pillow. A photograph. Me and Marcus. From a gala months ago. Smiling. Happy. My face was crossed out. Thick red lines. Violent. Words written beneath. Be careful who you trust. My knees buckled. This is because of me. I said. Yes. Dante replied quietly. Because someone wants leverage. Because someone knows you matter. My world tilted. He turned to his men. Pack her things. She is not staying here. Panic surged. I cannot just leave. You can. And you will. His voice left no space for argument. Someone violated your home. Your privacy. Your safety. I will not allow that again. I packed in silence. Clothes. Toiletries. My paints. My life reduced to a bag. The city blurred past the car window. Lights smeared with fear and disbelief. This is what you warned me about. I said. Yes. And you stayed anyway. I looked at him. I am not leaving. His jaw tightened. Then we do this together. The car stopped. The building rose before us. Glass steel power. Inside his penthouse. Everything felt exposed. I sat on the couch. Arms wrapped around myself. You are safe here. He said. For now. For always if I have my way. I looked up. Who did this? He did not hesitate. Someone testing me. Testing you. And they will learn. The weight of those words settled heavy. That night, sleep did not come easily. I stood by the window. City lights cold and endless. Dante joined me. Silent. This is no longer just about jealousy. I said. No. He replied. It never was. And in that moment, I understood. The kiss had not just been noticed. It had been answered. Morning arrived without peace. Sunlight spilled across the penthouse, like it had no idea what had happened in the night. I had not slept. Not really. Every sound, every shadow felt loaded. Like the city itself was watching. Dante stood by the window. Phone pressed to his ear. Speaking quietly. The language sharp and fast. Not English. When he ended the call, he did not turn immediately. As if he needed one last second to be something else. Someone else. Then he faced me. Sit. He said gently. I did. There was a gravity to his movements now. A finality that had not been there before. You deserve the truth. He said. All of it. I replied. He nodded. What happened last night was not random. Someone did not wander into your apartment. They went there for a reason. My hands clenched. Because of you. I said. Because of us. He corrected. I need you to listen carefully. He continued. And then I need you to choose. The word landed heavy. My world is not legal. He said plainly. It exists between rules and consequences. Between power and fear. I do not pretend otherwise. My chest tightened. But I did not look away. People like me. He continued. Do not get tested unless someone thinks they have leverage. You. Am I? Are leverage. The room felt smaller. I never wanted that. I whispered. I know. He said. That is why this matters. He moved closer. Not touching. Giving me space. There are men who fear me. And men who want my position. They do not attack me directly. They attack what I protect. Silence stretched. You kiss me in public. He said. With witnesses. With attention. To them. That was an announcement. My breath hitched. Of what? I asked. That you mattered. That word again. Matter. I wrapped my arms around myself. So what happens now? I asked. Now you choose. He said. You can walk away. Today. I will make sure you're safe. Relocated. Protected. Hidden if necessary. My stomach twisted. And if I stay. His gaze hardened. But his voice softened. Then you are under my protection. Fully. Publicly. Permanently. What does that mean? I asked. It means security everywhere. It means your name becomes untouchable. It means anyone who threatens you answers to me. And the danger. I pressed. Does not disappear. He admitted. But it is managed. I stood. Heart racing. This is insane. I said. I am a nurse. I paint at night. I argue with my best friend about takeout. I am not built for this. He watched me carefully. You are built for truth. He said. And courage. And you did not run last night. That does not mean I am fearless. I snapped. Good. He replied. Fear keeps you alive. I paced. My ex. I said suddenly. He has been texting. Warning me about you. Dante did not look surprised. He would. That stopped me. You know something. I said. I suspect. He answered. Men like him. Desperate men. Often try to trade information for safety. The room went cold. You think he did this? I asked. Maybe. Or maybe he opened the door. I felt sick. I trusted him. I whispered. Dante said nothing. He did not need to. I turned back to him. If I stay. I said. There are rules. His eyebrow lifted slightly. Tell me. I do not lie for you. I do not break the law. I do not give up my career. I do not disappear into your world. He listened, did not interrupt. And I added, I walk away the moment you stop giving me choice. A long silence. Then he nodded. Agreed. Just like that. Really? I asked. Am I? He said, I do not keep what does not choose me. My throat tightened. I stepped closer. Slowly. I am terrified. I admitted. So am I. He said quietly. That startled me. Of what? I asked. Of wanting something I cannot control. That honesty, that crack, changed everything. I looked at him. Really looked. Danger. Power. Truth. I thought of my apartment. My crossed-out face. The warning. I thought of Marcus. And the man he truly was. I thought of the kiss. The calm. The way Dante had never lied to me. I choose to stay. I said. His breath left him slowly. Then I will protect you. He said. With everything I am. He reached for my hand. This time I did not hesitate. Outside. The city roared on. Unaware. Inside. A line had been crossed. Not back into safety. But forward. Into truth. Into danger. Into something that could never be undone. And somewhere in the shadows, I knew. Someone was already watching. Waiting to see what my choice would cost. The warehouse smelled like cold metal and old dust. The kind of place where echoes stayed long after voices stopped. My footsteps sounded too loud as I walked beside Dante. Each step felt like it carried weight. Consequence. Finality. The space was almost empty. One chair in the center. Lights harsh and unforgiving. This was not a conversation. This was a reckoning. You stay with Maria. Dante said quietly. Do not move unless I tell you. I nodded. My mouth was too dry to speak. Then the doors opened. Marcus walked in. He looked smaller here. Not polished. Not powerful. Just a man stripped of his confidence. His eyes found mine immediately. Am I? He said. Relief and fear colliding. What is this? What is he doing here? Dante stepped forward, blocking his view of me. Sit, he said. Marcus hesitated. Two men moved. Not touching. Just existing closer. Marcus sat. His leg bounced uncontrollably. Let us talk about your debt. Dante said calmly. Marcus froze. I do not know what you mean. He replied too quickly. Dante smiled. But there was no warmth in it. You met Victor Koff 3 nights ago. Brighton Beach. Corner table. Cheap wine. Expensive promises. Marcus went pale. You followed Emma. Dante continued. Fed information. Reported movement. Habits. Where she lived. No. Marcus said. I was just worried. I stepped forward. My voice cut sharp. You warned me about him. About danger. While you were selling me to it. Marcus finally looked at me. Emma, I swear. They said they would ruin me. My family. I did not think they would hurt you. You let them into my home. I said. You let them listen to my life. My fears. My voice. His shoulders collapsed. I loved you. He said weakly. No. I replied. You loved control. Silence swallowed the space. Dante circled him slowly. Measured. Predatory. You made a deal. He said. You do not get to decide the damage after. Marcus shook. Please. I will fix it. I will tell them we are not together, that she does not matter. My chest tightened. Dante stopped in front of him. She matters, he said softly. That was the moment Marcus understood. True fear bloomed. You will go back to them. Dante continued. You will feed them lies. Lead them away. Confuse them. And if I fail, Marcus whispered, then you disappear. He replied. Marcus nodded frantically. I will do anything. Anything would have been honesty. I said, but you chose yourself. Two men stepped forward. Take him, Dante said, as Marcus was pulled away. He twisted back toward me. I never meant to hurt you. I met his gaze. Steady. But you did. The doors slammed shut. The echo lingered. My knees weakened. The adrenaline drained fast. Dante turned to me immediately. All hardness gone. Are you all right? I exhaled. Long. Shaking. I needed to see it. I said, who he really was. You did. He replied. I felt grief. Not for Marcus, but for the version of myself who once believed him. Dante took my hands. This is the cost of truth. He said, it hurts, but it frees you. I nodded. What happens now? I asked. Nah. He said. We watch. We prepare. And me. His thumb brushed my knuckles. You are no longer in the dark. I realized then. This was the moment everything shifted. Not the kiss. Not the threat. This. Standing in a warehouse. Choosing clarity over comfort. Truth over illusion. As we walked out, night swallowed us whole. And somewhere far away, Marcus was learning what desperation truly cost. While I, for the first time in a long time, felt unafraid of the truth. The days that followed did not return to normal. They created something else. Routine wrapped in vigilance. Quiet layered with watchful eyes. I moved through the city differently now. Aware of exits. Aware of reflections in glass. Aware of the way silence could mean safety or threat. Dante did not cage me. He did not restrict my movements. But I was never alone. A driver waited. Security blended into crowds. Presence without suffocation. At first it unsettled me. Then it steadied me. This was not fear. This was preparation. One evening I stood on the terrace of the penthouse, city lights pulsing below, and watched Dante speak with his people. They listened, not because they had to, but because they trusted him. I had expected brutality. Instead, I found structure. Rules. Consequences. Loyalty was currency. Betrayal was debt. You are observing, he said later. Joining me. I am learning. I replied. About what? He asked. About your world. And about mine. He studied me. Curious. And what have you learned? That power is not chaos. I said. It is control. Discipline. And knowing when not to act. A slow smile touched his mouth. Most people never understand that. We walked through one of his properties that night. A restaurant tucked into a neighborhood the city had forgotten. People greeted him with respect. Not fear. A woman hugged him. Thanked him for helping her son. A man pressed his hand to his chest. Offered gratitude. These were not criminals. They were people protected by someone the law had ignored. You see now, Dante said quietly. I nodded. It is not simple. I said. It is not clean. No. He agreed. But neither is the world you thought was safe. That truth stayed with me. My work grounded me. The hospital did not care who Dante was. Children still fought for breath. Parents still broke in my arms. I did not become someone else. I became more myself. At night I painted. Colors darker now. Bolder. Truth bleeding onto canvas. Dante watched sometimes. Silent. Respectful. "You're changing," he said once. "So are you," I replied. He did not deny it. There were whispers. Looks. Curiosity. People began to notice me at his side. Not as an accessory, but his presence. Who is she? They wondered. The answer unsettled them. She chose. One evening, we attended a private gathering. Nothing flashy, but important. Men who knew exactly who Dante was and what he controlled. I stood beside him, hand in his. One man glanced at me too long. Measuring. Dante shifted. Subtle. Protective. His voice was calm. "Look elsewhere." The man did. Later I confronted him. "You did not need to do that." "Yes," he said. "I did. Because you are not an experiment. Or a rumor. Or leverage. You are mine. Because you chose to be." That word again. Choice. I realized then. I was no longer reacting. I was deciding. My apartment was cleaned. Secured. Monitored. I visited it once. Standing in the doorway. Feeling the echo of violation. Dante waited behind me. "We will find you a place that feels untouched," he said. "Not yours," I replied. "Ours." His breath caught. That night he told me stories. Of Sicily. Of his mother. Of mistakes. Not softened. Not excused. Truth laid bare. I told him my fears. My limits. My lines. He listened. Days turned into weeks. The threat did not vanish. It quieted. Retreated. Calm before something else. I felt it in my bones. One morning, a headline flashed across a screen in a cafe. A name. His name. Spoken openly. Carefully. Mafia King. They called him. My pulse stopped. That word. King. I looked at Dante. His face was unreadable. "You knew," I said. I suspected it would surface. He replied. "And you did not tell me. I was waiting for you to see me." Before the miss. My chest tightened. This was bigger. Darker. Heavier. "You are not just connected." I whispered. "No," he said. "I am the center." The world tilted. I stepped back. Needing air. Space. Dante did not follow. He waited. And in that silence, I understood. This was the moment. The real choice. Not survival. Not fear. But truth. And I had never felt more awake. The word king did not leave my head. It echoed. Expanded. Changed everything it touched. I walked the city alone that night. No driver. No escort. Just space. I needed to feel the ground under my feet. Needed to remember who I was before power and danger entered my life. Every face felt unfamiliar. Every shadow suspicious. This was what knowing did. It rewrote reality. By the time I returned to the penthouse, Dante was waiting. Not pacing. Not watching the door. Just standing near the windows. Like he knew I would come back. "You did not run," he said quietly. "I almost did," I replied. He nodded. "Accepting that." "Sit," he said. I did not. "Tell me everything," I said. Not fragments, not softened truth. Everything. He studied me, then began. I did not inherit this by accident. He said, I fought for it, bled for it, lost people for it. I am not a figurehead. I am the reason wars do not start, and the reason some end. My chest tightened. How many people fear you? I asked. Enough. He replied. How many love you? Fewer, but fiercely. And me? I asked. His voice softened. You were never meant to be part of this. You crossed into it by choice. That hurt. And healed. At the same time. I read about you. I admitted. Before the gala. Your name in articles. Whispers online. I thought it was exaggerated. It often is. He said. And now? Now you know I am not a story. Or a rumor. I am real. I turned away. Hands trembling. If I stay. I said. This is permanent. Yes. There is no pretending. No safe distance. No. I thought of my work. My life. The woman I was becoming. I thought of the girl at the gala. Humiliated. Desperate. I thought of the man who never lied to me. Even when the truth could have driven me away. You waited. I said. For what? For me to see you before knowing what you are. Yes. I faced him. That was manipulation. It was honesty in sequence. He replied. Anger flared. You let me fall for you. Before I knew the weight of you. He did not deny it. And yet, he said, I gave you every exit. I searched his face. For deception. For cruelty. Found none. I saw fear there. Not of enemies, but of losing me. I realized something then. Power had never frightened me. Dishonesty had. You did not trap me. I said slowly. You trusted me. His breath hitched. If I walk away now. I said. What happens? He answered immediately. You will be protected. Untouched. Forgotten. And you. I will continue. That was the difference. He would not chase. Would not coerce. He would let me choose. I stepped closer. I am not brave enough to love a myth. I said. He nodded. But. I continued. I am brave enough to love a man. Who never hid from the truth. His eyes darkened. Am I? Do not say it lightly. He warned. I am not. I replied. I choose you. Knowing exactly who you are. Silence held us. Then he moved. Slow. Reverent. His hand cupped my face. Once you step fully into this. He said. There is no halfway. I leaned into his touch. I am done living halfway. Outside. The city pulsed. Unaware. Inside. Something ancient shifted. The king had been revealed. And I had chosen the crown beside him. The night felt different the second time I walked into a gala on his arm. Not lighter, not heavier. Truer. The same crystal lights shimmered overhead. The same music floated through the air. But I was not the woman clutching a glass and bracing for impact. I stood tall without effort. My hand rested easily in his. No performance. No armor. People noticed. They always did. Not because of the dress or the diamonds, but because of the way he looked at me. As if the room existed only to frame what he had already chosen. Whispers followed. Soft, sharp, curious. His name carried weight. Mine now traveled with it. Across the hall he saw my past. Marcus stood near the edge. Smaller than I remembered. Alone. Our eyes met briefly. There was no anger in me. No triumph. Only distance. He looked away first. Dante leaned close. Are you all right? I smiled. More than all right. We moved through the crowd. Greetings offered with respect. Not fear. Not pity. This was not a battlefield. This was a statement. Later, when the music slowed, he led me onto the floor. Hands familiar. Steps sure. We moved as one. No hesitation. The world had tried to pull us apart. To define us. To warn me. And yet here we were. Do you remember? He murmured. The first time. I laughed softly. How could I forget? You asked me to kiss you. He said. Like it was nothing. It felt like everything. I replied. His grip tightened. Protective. Certain. When the song ended, we did not rush away. We stayed. Anchored. Outside the city waited. Threats still existed. Power still demanded consequence. But I was no longer afraid. Because love had not made me blind. It had made me honest. Later that night, back in the quiet of home. Not the penthouse, but the place we chose together. I stood by the window painting. Dark blues and gold. Movement and shadow. He watched from behind. Arms wrapping around me. Chin resting at my shoulder. You changed my life. He said. You gave me back mine. I replied. He reached into his pocket. Slowly. Not rehearsed. My heart stilled. He did not kneel. He did not perform. He simply held the ring between us. Emerald light catching the glow. Build this life with me. He said. Not safely. Not easily. But honestly. I turned. Paint on my fingers. Tears in my eyes. Yes. The word carried everything. Months later, we stood surrounded by those who mattered. Not many, but enough. Vows spoken without illusion. Without promises of peace. Only commitment. I chose you. I said. Knowing the danger. Knowing the cost. And I will protect you. He replied. Not because I own you, but because you stand beside me. The city continued. Wars ended quietly. Others never began. Time moved forward. Sometimes at night, I think of that first moment. The fear. The desperation. Kiss me, my ex is staring. I had said. I did not know I was asking for my future. For my strength. For my truest self. I was not rescued. I was revealed. Love did not save me. Choice did. And if I had to do it again, every risk, every shadow, every consequence, I would still walk across that room. Still lift my chin. Still choose courage over comfort. Because some kisses are not endings. They are beginnings.